then if
Do you beat your kid?
What do you
Excuse me,
mean
hold on a
you
second. Wait,
personally?
wait,
What's the
wait!
prescription?
Whoa! Don't, oh, wow!
Oh, Hans identifies it, and DemonMama is mad because she doesn't want to bite the bullet on this. But Hans identifies it immediately. Yeah.
No. And then
Stop!
so what I'm asking then is,
I'm done.
And then I'm.
Seem pretty hyped for this, huh?
Oh, I mean, I'm excited. I just want to have a good discourse. You know?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right. So.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Where do you want to start?
I mean, I don't know. We can start anywhere. Like, you're the one who put up the video and put up the stream and whatever. We can start wherever you'd like.
Of
It's your
course.
call.
So let's start with the olive branch. Ready? I think
yeah.
I think we both want to improve education, right? And I would be in favor of things
yeah.
like say like no homework, better training for teachers, smaller class sizes, like more options, like not just like the memorization box, like some people in chat have like said. I think there's a lot of ways of currently fixing education, but I think where we differ is that I still believe in mandates for some flavor of education, one of these types.
Well, yeah, because we have it appears we have very different sort of perceptions on how the state should be involved in these sort of things.
Okay, so
yeah,
give me.
And I have a problem with a state demanding that children have to go to a school, especially a school system that's deeply flawed.
So unless the school is quick question, would you be okay with mandates if school was perfect?
Wait, hold on. Hans taking notes. That's nice. First question. How do I make it so that my RuneScape client fits the whole box? Because it's just like a little thing in the box and I can't make it bigger. Why? Also, what was my login name before for my RuneScape account? Does anybody remember? This is important, guys. Oh, August, cut here.
Let's start with the olive branch. Ready? I think we both want to improve education, right? And
I like that, so coming into this, so we'll say in the beginning, I don't like DemonMama, obviously. DemonMama, however, seems incredibly antagonistic already. That's funny. Now, Hans here might also be passive-aggressively antagonistic or just excited to have an argument. I can't tell. But man, DemonMama already sounds pretty fucking mad coming into this. So I'm guessing that Hans probably made some video attacking some position she had, and that's why she's in here to argue. That's what it seems like so far. So yeah, there was a Twitter fight right before the talk. Yeah.
I would be in favor of things like say like no homework, better training for teachers, smaller class sizes, like more options, like not just like the memorization box, like some people in chat have like said. I think there's a lot of ways of currently fixing education, but I think where we differ is that I still believe in mandates for some flavor of education, one of these types.
Well, yeah, because we have it appears we have very different sort of perceptions on how the state should be involved in these sort of things.
Okay, so
yeah,
give me.
And I have a problem with a state demanding that children have to go to a school, especially a school system that's deeply flawed.
So unless the school is quick question, would you be okay with mandates if school was perfect?
No.
Okay, so
why do people? I don't understand why people. Let's talk real quick about two words, okay? Necessary and sufficient, okay? Having a cup is a necessary condition for having a hot chocolate, but it's not sufficient, okay? It's just necessary. Now, having a cup and hot chocolate in the cup, that would be both necessary and sufficient. It's necessary because you need both of these parts to have a cup of hot chocolate, but it's sufficient because having both of them satisfies the requirements of having a hot chocolate, okay? Now, when somebody says, I do not want this thing because of this, they make it sound like that is a sufficient, both necessary and sufficient reason to not want that thing. So when you say, okay, you don't want X because of reason Y, correct? Yeah, I don't want X because of reason Y. Okay, well, what if we got rid of reason Y? Oh, I still don't want X. Okay. Then why are we even then let's not talk about reason why. Why would you bring that up, right? It doesn't make any sense, right? Like, I would watch Steins Gate, but I really don't like the music. It's so fucking bad. The music is horrible. Oh, so if I got rid of like the music in Steins Gate, would you watch the anime? Fuck no. Oh, well then why did you bring that up? Like, why? Wait, why? why would you even mention that then? Let's just move on to the next thing. When people do this, it drives me fucking crazy. Oh my God.
Would you be okay with mandates if school was perfect?
No.
Okay, so then
let me just go back to justify why I'm saying this.
So unless the school,
especially with a state demanding that children have to go to a school, especially a school system that's deeply flawed.
So unless the school is would you, so quick.
I guess she does say especially when the school system is deeply flawed, to be fair. So we haven't gotten any other reasons yet, but maybe we'll get into that. Maybe we'll get into that later on in this. To be fair to her, though, she didn't say because it was deeply flawed. She said especially since it's deeply flawed, so we'll see.
Quick question. Would you be okay with mandates if school was perfect?
No.
Okay, so then that point doesn't matter.
I mean, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean that point doesn't matter?
You said like you had a problem with state mandating like imperfect schools.
Oh, so Hans heard the same thing that I did. So, and he's correct to just toss it out. Like, you don't have a Ruin Light account? Wait, do I? Oh, hold on. August? Cut. August, we're back.
And I asked if you'd be okay with the state mandating.
Yeah, no, I said especially when they're imperfect.
So Hans pointed out that, like, okay, so is the imperfect thing matters? DemonMama responds with what I just said. She said, well, especially because they're imperfect, not because they're imperfect. So, okay, that's fine. But then we can move on past it being imperfect, right? Yeah.
Yes, so, I don't really believe the state should, or the state has a right to force people to do something that is something like education. I think you can make a more salient argument for something like vaccines, where it's a viral vector, it's a force of nature that there's nothing that we can really do about, that people spread to other people. So I know the first thing people tend to go to on this, and I've seen this online, is, would you support the state doing vaccine mandates? I think that's a really complicated question, much more in depth. On a larger scale, I'd say no, but that's because a vaccine has to do with spreading a disease to other people. And vaccines are largely valuable, not just for the self, but for stopping a disease that's killing people. I don't think we...
Okay, so DemonMama correctly identifies that we said you can't force education. Well, can we force vaccines? So she's heading off that argument. I'm really curious how she justifies not forcing education, but here we go.
You can make that argument for school.
And I would disagree. I would say that a society where 15% of the population not knowing how to read or write, in a society where it's virtually like necessary to exist in society, I would say that is absolutely atrocious. I think that like...
Oh, I agree.
Okay, so...
But I agree with you.
Okay, so if we agree with that, then my question is, I do not see any way that we can improve schools to the point where children will choose schools, or their guardians will choose schools, depending on like if we say the guardians are oppressing the kids as well. If people will choose to go to school over literally anything and everything else they can do, how can we make school literally the best?
I think that's like a bit of an odd like hypothetical to set up, but like
but this is super necessary.
Hold on a second. Let's hold on a second.
Wait. How is this an odd hypothetical? Wait, what?
And everything people will choose to go to school over literally anything and everything else they can do. How can we make school literally the best?
I think that's like a bit of an odd like hypothetical to set up, but like
but this is super necessary.
Hold on a second. Let's hold on a second. Let's deal with what you said there. So you stated that 15% of our society being illiterate and whatever, and I can't remember what the other thing that you said was, is really bad. I agree with you 100%. I just don't think that the solution is mandatory schooling. I don't think that mandatory schooling helps at all. I think that there's so many ways. If you can't imagine an alternative way besides threatening kids or their parents to get them to participate in school, I think that demonstrates the problem with the schooling system as it currently exists. School is like miserable for a lot of people, especially neuroatypical people. And I say this as somebody who is not only neuroatypical but also succeeded very well in school, and also grew up in like a cult. I don't think that mandatory schooling addresses any of the like meaningful problems that we have with education. All it does is mean that there are punishments for the child and their family for choosing to not, or deciding not, that they don't want to endure that system.
Okay, so let's like handle these separately. The first one is that we have a problem with the schooling system. Again, I agree with you. I don't think that's what we're debating on. You said that the school is bad for neurodivergent people. I am very much in favor of like improving school for people who either think differently or have anything else that makes school harder. I am all for improving it. I still want to mandate them to have school. And I know you said that like this, and so then what I'm asking is, how do we ensure that we get enough of society, because you agree that's a terrible thing. It's like if we have like a portion of society that can't read or write, how do we get them to voluntarily choose this like education system, or the new one, like the good one that we made, over literally anything and everything else they can do?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of ways to do that. Like literally, there's so many. There's like almost an infinite amount of ways to do that. You can entice them with interesting things, stuff like, I don't know. There's like a million ways you could do this. You could.
Okay, you can call me biased here. I don't like DemonMama, so that's fine. Calling me biased. When somebody asks you something, like, how can you do this? And like, you have to repeat 7 times. Well, there's a ton of different ways. I mean, there's like a million things. I mean, like, there's like an infinite number of things. I mean, like, there's a million things. Like, you can do things in like a million different ways, right? It feels to me like you haven't thought about this and you're searching for an answer. Now, maybe she has, and maybe she's just like, this is her rhetorical flourishing or whatever. But like, if there are a million ways, then you should be able to name like at least 2 or 3 that are pretty good. Let's see.
You can entice them with interesting things, stuff like, I don't know, there's like a million ways you could do this. You could offer some sort of things like, I mean, one great example is like the free lunches is something that gets a lot of kids to show up to school. That's one thing because it...
Okay, but there's already free lunches at school. No? Like a lot of states already have a free lunch program for kids that are disadvantaged. But, okay. It feels like she's padding out an essay without an argument. Yeah.
Addresses an economic issue that prevents kids from going to school. It really depends on which part.
Wait, if you don't live in Kentucky? Hold on. Let's be very clear now. Now, regardless of whether you feel like what Kentucky did was good or bad, what Kentucky did was they got rid of there was like a federal like coronavirus free lunch program or something. They got rid of that, but Kentucky still has the like disadvantaged youth like applications for lunches. Just to be clear, okay? Kentucky didn't get rid of all of the like free lunch programs. That's not true, right?
Part of the school that you're trying, or which part of people avoiding schooling that you're trying to deal with. So like you can name a reason why somebody wouldn't go to school, and I can try to give you a potential solution for that issue. I just don't think that like...
Okay, so she basically immediately concedes after saying she said like 5 times, there's a million different ways that you can convince people to go to school. And then she immediately concedes, she's like, well, if you give me a reason why somebody wouldn't, I can tell you a way to get them to go to school. So it seems like she's not very committed to that answer, I guess. But
even in the absence of solutions to these individual problems, that justifies mandatory schooling, that justifies using the threat of law or the threat of the state to force people who are deeply either suffering in school or who, for whatever reason, don't feel like the school system is ideal for them. I think.
But you said that the suffering and the badness of the school is irrelevant to like the mandation of like people going. Like, what if we had like the perfect school?
Yeah, absolutely.
We had a million.
This is frustrating for Hans because props to writing stuff down. By the way, I don't think enough people do this. I write shit down all the time. DemonMama keeps retreating back to this argument of, well, if the schools are deeply flawed, blah, 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 blah. And then Hans keeps pushing back saying, well, you said that even if they weren't deeply flawed, you wouldn't be in favor of, forcing kids to go to school. So why do you keep retreating back to that? And he's correctly identifying this. And it's almost like bumper bowling where she keeps trying to go to the gutter over and over again. And Hans is like the bumper. She's like, well, there's like a million different ways, but a lot of kids get bullied. But wait, you said that didn't matter. Yeah, sure. Okay. But I mean, there are things we can do to force kids, but what if I haven't really done? Wait, hold on. Don't do that. Right. Like she's bumping off the Hans bumper every time she tries to get in the gutter with this argument. Again, when I hear people do this, it makes me think like, okay, I guess you don't really have a strong argument in opposition to this because you keep going back to an argument that we've already kind of moved past.
Options where like,
yeah, sure, you still don't get to force somebody to do that. Okay, you don't get to force someone to go do something like that, especially with no reason. What reason do you see? Here's the thing.
I can give you the reason.
Wait, hold on.
Oh man, and now like bumping off of that and not addressing the prior question, now DemonMama launches into an offense of like, now you justify your position, which is technically not the worst thing. He's the one arguing in favor of mandatory schooling, so maybe he should have to. But it's just funny how she sets this up.
One of the things that's been annoying me about this conversation is that it's presumed that you must force people to go to school. There's nothing that says that you have to do that. There's no claim that you have to force people to go to school.
My understanding is that essentially every Western country in the world does this, right? I don't think in any European countries can you just not go to school. Is that the case in Finland or Germany or France or Italy? Can you just be like, oh no, I don't want to go to school. Fuck you. I'm pretty sure I say Europe, but like. Even through most of Asia, South America, and Africa, it's probably mandatory that you have to go to school.
What gives you the right? You have to give a reason for why you think someone should be forced to do something. If you are making the argument for why we should force people to do something, you have to give a good argument for that.
Of course.
I don't think there's a good argument to force people. I don't think it's a good thing to force people to do something that's like quote unquote good for them. So
something that's funny here is if you look at how the conversation has shifted a lot in a really funny way. Initially, Hans was pushing her, well, why shouldn't we do this? And DemonMama initially said, well, there's a million reasons. Like, there's other ways we can entice people to go. There's a million things. She couldn't name a single one. And then she keeps trying to bounce back to this, like, well, it sucks for some people, so they shouldn't have to. And then Hans correctly points out, well, that's not a sufficient reason why, because even if they were perfect, you wouldn't. And now that she realized, like, what are we, 8 minutes into this conversation? Now that she realized she doesn't have a single argument, now she's going to pivot and say, okay, hold on, fuck you. You tell me why it has to happen. You tell me why it has to be mandatory, which is, I think is funny.
I think there's a huge problem with coercing people into like your particular like worldview. And I think that there's arguments that can be made. I think that there's all kinds of things you can do to convince people that your way of doing things is better.
So she's repeated once more, there are arguments, there are ways that you can convince people to do other things. There are, well, what are they? What are they? What were they? We asked for them earlier, we didn't get anything.
I just don't think that forcing them with the power of the state is the answer to that, especially in this particular context. I think there are places where you could argue that like force is more justified. And I think that we could run down that path. Like I said, natural disasters, plagues are ones where it's like, okay, if we don't step in here, other people are going to die far beyond this person. But that's not the case with school. You don't have that impetus.
Okay, so here are the two most basic reasons I can provide for why we should force somebody to go to school. All right.
Excellent.
First one, personal betterment. If ready? If existing in society is it is necessary to have a certain degree of skills, whatever those skills may be. It may be basket weaving, it may be hunting, it may be reading, writing, arithmetic. Any of those things, if you need it to exist in society, you probably should know it for your personal benefit. No. I let you talk for 5 minutes.
Oh, he can't even finish. He can't even finish his thing without her trying to cut him off.
Please let me go through. It's 2 points. Please, God. So it will help them do better in society, and for especially extremely young children, where these formative years are extremely important. I do not think they are personally capable of saying, "Oh, I will choose just to never go to school, and that's better for me." And you're saying you can't force someone to do something that's good for them. But we argued. I'm not going to talk about the vaccine stuff. But
I mean, I think it's a poor comparison.
Okay, cool. I would say that in this specific case, being able to interact in society in a way that lets you like do literally anything inside of it, like. You can't order food off a menu. You can't do you can't get a job. You can't do hobbies that require this activity.
Sure. Okay.
And this will permanently make you worse off. It's like if people don't learn to read until 10 years old, it's harder for them to learn to read. So what are we going to do then? We're going to permanently allow people to cripple themselves in terms of their capacity for life because of that. And then the second argument is societal. If society requires people being
the real abyssal pill, I'm by the way, the two terms I've copyrighted, they're mine, are void pill and abyss pill. Okay, I haven't decided which one I want to stick with yet, but I'm keeping both of them. Okay, the true void pill argument is children should be required to take some basic reading and writing classes until grade 2, and then they should be forced to work for 10 years, and then when we're 22 or 24, then we go back to school and then we take all the classes. Because if I went back to school when I was in my mid-20s and had to take history and all that shit, I would care about that shit so much more. I learned so much random shit in grade school that it's motherfucker, I'm 12 years old. I don't give a fuck what happened in Europe. I don't care about any of this shit, okay? I just want to go home and play Final Fantasy Tactics, all right? If you're not going to teach me some fucking math that's going to help me optimize, my fucking characters on some MMO I play, I don't give a fuck, right? I feel like when I'm in my 20s though, if you want to teach me, you can teach me all sorts of shit. I'm so much more interested to learn about this stuff. Now, there's a wide variety of reasons why we can't actually do this. Your more developmental years are younger. We can't have child labor, et cetera, et cetera. But fuck, it sucks that we're forced to learn so much stuff at a point in our lives where we are the least interested in learning.
Able to do these things, read, write, basket weave, hunt, and we don't get them to be able to do it, society will functionally collapse because people have zero skills to keep the society functioning. I think those are two very good reasons as to why we should coerce someone. I'm not saying forcing someone to school isn't coercive. I'm saying it is necessary coercion for the good of society, for the good of keeping anything existing. So I would ask, what would we do for the super young kids, for the 3-year-olds who don't want to go to school? Are they capable?
Wait, hold on, shit. Oh no, he's about to stumble on some dumb shit. So unless there's pre-K, I don't know if 3-year-olds go to school.
Yeah, sure. Have you ever talked to a 3-year-old?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because I don't know if you know this, but as a matter of child psychology, children are actually pretty receptive to new things. They don't understand the world. They naturally seek guidance from parents. But this is a reason. This is discussed so fundamental. We know
3-year-olds go to school in the UK. Oh, okay, okay. This is such a dog shit argument that DemonMama is about to make, but let's hear it out, okay?
this is why children are vulnerable to even negative things like abuse and things like that. It's because they trust their parents. They trust the adult figures in their life. And that trust right now is often taken advantage of and used to be really abusive. And that includes with the school.
What are these arguments? Wait, does DemonMama actually believe this shit, or does she just go around looking for them? I feel like people project so much. People call me a contrarian all the time, but I feel like I can justify most of my shit. But then I feel like some of these other people online have the most ridiculously absurd stances. Does she actually believe this?
School system. You can tell a child, hey, we're going to go to school today. Isn't that fun? You're going to meet new friends. You're going to do this thing. And most kids, they're going to go. I don't remember a single time in any of me or my siblings' childhood where anyone had a problem going to school.
Wait, what? Bro, I skipped so much fucking school, especially when I got to high school and I realized that my parents were as lazy as I was. I'm like, Mom, I'm sick today. I'm going to go upstairs. Dude, video games and playing hooky and skipping school. Dude, where are my Midwest, where are my northern state bros at? Do you guys remember when snow days would happen and all the kids were super sad because they were like, oh no, I wanted to go to school today. Oh no, it's snow, it's ruining it. Oh man, maybe we could all walk to school instead. Like, oh man, snow days are the worst. Like, wait, what does this fucking take? Kids love to go to school. Jesus. Destiny, remember actually feeling physically sick on Sunday nights? Dude, remember when some weeks were so shit that like Friday night would come and if you slept in on Saturday, you'd be like, oh my God, my Saturday is almost over. And if Saturday's almost over, it means tomorrow's Sunday. And Sunday's not even a real weekend because it means I have to go to bed early. Oh, so like sometimes you'd wake up late on a Saturday and the rest of your weekend would already be fucking ruined. Oh, man.
Why do you always do that?
Do what?
The thing.
We're not doing anything.
You're like,
We're practicing our posture.
really?
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing. Why do you look so sus?
We're not.
You look sus. What do you think?
Oh. What are you guys talking about?
TwitchCon.
Oh, yeah?
Are we going to TwitchCon?
Yeah, duh. Well, I have to check first.
Why?
See
Oh, does it? Your mom joke, huh? Right here.
I just want to make sure she's coming this time, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Ouch.
I'm
Oh.
gonna make sure if you're coming tonight.
Did you ever have blizzards that entailed like 2 to 3 days off school? That was the best for me getting the call. Yeah, dude, the worst, especially because I went to private school. The worst was when like OPS, Omaha Public Schools, canceled, and you're sitting there staring at the bottom of the screen, and all the other schools have canceled, and you're like waiting to see yours, and the time is ticking closer and closer to when the school bus would like pull up to your house. You're like, oh no. Oh my God, where's our school? Oh my God, no, what's happening? And like the worst things, and I did this all the time. Did your school ever do 2-hour delays? Fuck no, that wasn't a thing when I was a kid. Oh, I think public schools did that though. They would do a delay. My school never did a delay. That sounds horrible. It would just be canceled. The worst was when you'd go home from school on like a Wednesday night and you wouldn't even fucking do your homework. And you'd be like, nah, it's going to be a snow day tomorrow. Fuck that shit. And yeah, you're like, yeah, fuck that shit. I don't need to do my homework. And then like the next morning comes around and you're like, oh no. And you like look outside and it's not snowing enough. And you're like, oh fuck. Oh no, it's all over. Okay, sorry. Anyway.
A single time. We're going to go to school today. Isn't that fun? You're going to meet new friends. You're going to do this thing. And most kids, they're going to go. I don't remember.
I want to know. I'm so curious what DemonMama's experience is with children and with other school kids that she would actually say something like this. Or maybe she went to like the funnest fucking school in the world. I'm so curious where this take comes from.
Single time in any of me or my siblings' childhood where anyone had
not even a single time
school. It was ever even necessary to issue a threat because we were excited to go there to learn, to have yummy foods, to meet our friends, to talk to our teacher who we liked. These are all things that can inspire a child to go to school.
I am so, like at this point, I would actually be checked out. I think at this point I would start probing with funny questions because like this sounds like a bad faith argument to me. I don't believe this. I don't believe that a person sincerely believes this. This has to be like some fucking meme shit. Especially how, like, she literally said that her experiences in school were horrible because she was neuroatypical. Now she can't think of a single day when her or her siblings didn't want to go to school. I mean, unless her home life was really bad, maybe. But
school. I would love to know what the statistics are on the number of times that you have to, the law has actually had to be invoked for a child. Now, this is what tends to happen.
I mean, it's called truancy, right?
This conversation, and this happened on Twitter quite a bit, which is that there is a sort of switch, that a pivot at convenience between like a high school kid or a child that's like 3 years old. I don't think you have to apply any level of force to get a child to go to school. And if you do, then there's a reason there's probably a reason for it. If a child is screamingly terrified of school, then you can go, okay, maybe school or standard school is not the right answer here. And you can have something else set up for them. Maybe they need a tutor at home because they have special needs. That sounds fantastic.
That's not abolition.
I don't understand.
That's not abolition.
That is absolutely. What do you define abolition as? I would be really interested to understand what you think abolition.
In this case, if you're like abolishing the concept of like a mandated school system, essentially you're saying we're going to send a tutor at home. What if the tutor gets there and they say we don't want to do anything? What? And you say like the parents. And again, this is like explicitly all anecdotal. That you said you had a good experience and that you liked going to school.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, cool. A lot of kids do not. A lot of kids hate going to school. And
wait, why is DemonMama now agreeing with him? Why is DemonMama saying, yeah, I know a lot of kids don't like it? You just said that you couldn't think of a single time when you or your siblings.
I don't remember a single time in any of me or my siblings' childhood where anyone had a problem going to school.
Or any other kid didn't want to go to school. Why are you agreeing now? DemonMama's like on all sides of the chessboard simultaneously. It's like, oh God, like your king is simultaneously in check and it's your own king at the same time. Like, I don't even know what's happening right now.
And here's your position advocates they should be forced to on threat of law.
Correct, because it is necessary for society. So excellent. Right, cool. So I let you talk for 5 minutes. Let me go. So if you are saying that kids will willingly go to school right now you say kids like going to school because you like going to school, but in the alternative world that you are suggesting, it is not mandatory to go to school, which means kids can choose to do literally anything else. And you are telling me, straight-faced, that they will choose to go to the school, even a fun school, over doing literally anything else. Consistently.
I don't know. This sounds like a really weird framing.
It's like, not a weird framing.
I like how she tries to dismiss it as a weird framing. Like, oh, that's so weird. Like, if we didn't have to go to school, we'd just go play kickball on the fucking playground all day, right? Or half-court basketball, I guess, when you get older or whatever. Like, kids would just go out and do physical shit all the time. They wouldn't want to be inside learning math and shit. They would be out, like, doing recess 24/7. Not 24/7, but, like, for 6 or 7 hours a day, right?
Wait, hold on a second. A kid can do anything, literally anything else. Okay, so, like, what? They can do that. They can do that now.
No, they can't do that now. They have to go to school.
Our kids can already do. They're already creatures. Like, okay, let me ask you this, just so that I can get clear what you're trying to get at. Let's say you have a 6-year-old, okay, and it's time to go to kindergarten, and maybe you get them to go for the first day, okay?
Wait, I got them to go? Like, is that coercion? Because when parents tell their kids to go to school. Wait, no. Ask the question: is when parents tell their kids to go to school, is that coercion? Like, is the parents like coercing the kids to go to school?
What's your goal with this?
No, it's a serious question. You said we can't coerce.
I like how she's pretending that Hans is the one being bad faith now.
Question?
Yes.
Because it doesn't look like
it's completely serious.
Okay, so let's say, hold on. When I say you get your kid to go to school, let's say you go, hey, 6-year-old, we have this brand new cool thing called school, and it's really great. You get to go do these things, and the kid goes, okay.
No, I'd rather stay home and play Fortnite. Thanks. I would go to school, Dad, but Paw Patrol, new season, followed by Bubble Guppies. I'm gonna be watching that now, okay? Also, Bubble Guppies had some sick-ass music, okay? Paw Patrol was Canadian, but it was an okay show to watch, all right? They'd probably want to check that shit out instead of going to school. Let's be real, all right?
Hey, Daddy, okay, Mommy, let's go to school. And then they go to school. No? Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. What if they say no? What do you think should happen?
They say, sorry, buddy. I know you don't want to stay home, but you should probably go.
Okay. And if all right. And then what if they what if they say no then?
You take them to school.
Okay. And what if they don't want to get in the car?
You pick them up and take them to the car.
Okay. So you pick them up. What if they fight you on that?
Then if
do you beat your kid?
No, I'm not in favor of.
Oh my God, DemonMama is that parent in the grocery store whose child starts crying every time they go by the candy aisle, and DemonMama's like, well, what am I gonna do when the child wants a candy bar? And I say no, and they start crying. Do you want me to beat the shit out of my fucking kid? Do you want me to fucking kill my fucking kid? Do you want me to kill my kid in Walmart instead of just getting the goddamn Hershey bar? Like, oh my God. Like, this is like the Ugandan super soldier, like Antifa warlord child. And it's like, what the fuck? What do you mean? You make them do it. You have to make kids do shit sometimes. It's part of being a parent. That's part of learning as a child. What the fuck?
Child abuse whatsoever.
Okay, so what happens if you can't get them to go in the car because they're terrified and they don't want to go to school? Do you say, okay, let's wait until tomorrow and let's try this again.
And then tomorrow, and tomorrow they say the same thing, and they keep doing this. This kid never gets an education.
Sure, yeah, that's really challenging. That's a really challenging situation. The answer that you have to answer here? I don't have to answer that question.
Yes, you do.
You think they should? No, I do not. You believe they should be forced to go to school. I believe we should seek out an alternative. If a child is terrified of going to school,
yeah, but you have to provide the alternative. We do force our kids to go to school, and for the most part, it seems to work out. Like.
School, we should seek out another way to teach them. Excuse me. Yes, by and large, children are.
Wait, is there like a counter for how many times she's cut off Hans? I'm curious because, damn, she gets really mad when it happens to her.
But there are, of course, examples where this is not the case. Largely with children who have like severe behavioral or learning issues from childhood. Those things absolutely happen. So your belief is that you should physically pick up the child, force them into the car, and then what? What if they go to school and they're terrified and they're freaking out? What should you do then? I want to know what your view is. We should have the good
school. We should have the good school. And if
that, okay. And if that, so what if they don't like the good school?
Then they go anyway. I'll let them pick the best of all the bad options.
And what happens if they don't want to go so bad, they're so terrified that they try to get out of school? What do you think they should do then?
We have...
I like how DemonMama accuses Hans of doing like really insane examples. You're talking about like a 0.000001. This is like an incredibly rare child that is so antisocial that they're like trying to escape from fucking kindergarten. Like, what percentage of children are actually this? I don't even know. I'd say rambunctious. This like anti-establishment, anti-authoritarian, anti like. How many people do this?
Like you have people in this case. Let's.
How do you simultaneously live in a world where every child would just love to choose to go to school because that's what she said? Every child loves to learn, love to go. But also you have like the Antifa super soldier children that are so Sigma that they will fight to the death to escape their like institution once you drop them off at kindergarten. What is happening?
Tepe, Eli, what's the matter? Fighting will get you nowhere, Eli. Cut it out, kid. That ain't a toy. Eli.
Don't call me that! I'm not
going to school.
Let's be anarchists here. Let's say we have a community watch that if they see a child outside of school, they will escort them back to school.
Okay, and what if the child says, "I'm not going back to school. That place terrifies me." Even in the perfect school
system. Then we can get them help. We can get them therapists.
Okay.
That's not an argument for no school.
Wait, hold on a second.
DemonMama wants him to solve like every intricate part, which he probably could. I don't know how much longer they're gonna walk through this. I mean, like there are answers to these questions, but like Jesus fucking Christ.
We're not. Don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead. If the end goal is to get people to go to school, I don't think that you need a mandatory system. I think there are other ways you can do this. If a kid is resisting to the point...
Yeah, but you haven't named one. Earlier you said entice them with... What did she say? School lunch?
Like physical distress, I think it's fair to say, wow, there is something that is terrifying my child, and we need to go seek out a way to help them learn. A way to get them inspired in learning, whether we're able to talk them through it with maybe a counselor or a psychologist or whatever, or to come up with an alternative way. Maybe we could do a whole...
Why are you linking me this clip?
No, it isn't. You know, it's actually the funny part. It's funny she brings that up because I'm living proof. I walked to school just to get the free lunch, and then I walked my black ass home. That's what I did every day. I'm living proof of it. I can test, hand to God. That's what I did every fucking day. It's because they don't keep track of truancy. All I would do is I would go, yeah, you know what? I kind of want to eat. I'd walk my black ass over there, get my free lunch, and I'd...
Well, that's one thing because it addresses homeschooling process, and maybe
what if they reject the homeschooling process? What if they jump out the window and try and run away every time?
That's a question. Wait, that's a question for you.
Keep making this crazier, DemonMama.
No. Please, wait. Hold on. Please tell me what your solution is. My solution there, if a child is that opposed to learning, then there might, I don't even know if there is an answer that anybody can have to that particular situation.
Therapy. We should get them mental
Wait, sure, that's what I said. That's not mandatory schooling. That's not mandatory schooling. You're now offering my solutions back to me.
No. The end result.
Yes. How is she trying to claim? She's posited arguments, and then she's immediately retreated from them, and then now she is saddling Hans with the burden of trying to make arguments. And now anytime he says something, she says it, well, those are actually all my arguments. Okay.
Is getting them into a mental state where they will agree to the mandatory schooling, DemonMama. That is the end result.
Wait, that's not the end goal.
Yes,
no.
it
Okay,
is.
so wait. Then that's where we differ. My end goal is not to force children into school. My end goal is for children to be as happy as possible, as liberated as possible, as educated as possible.
What if they don't want to go to education?
Wait, you should fight on that ground. You want children to be as liberated as possible and as free as possible? What if that comes at the cost of them being like educated citizens of the world? Do we just abdicate that responsibility and just say fuck it?
Every single kid. Let's say every single kid's afraid of the system. What are we saying?
Every single kid. Okay, so if every single kid is afraid of the system, then you have a failed system.
And
that should be discarded completely. And we should start
and I think if one child is so scared and terrified mentally that they can't fit inside the existing mandated system, we'll get them the assistance they need until they can fit back inside of it. Because we both know this is so far removed from the majority of
Wait.
Hold on a second.
What are we going on for? I'm ready.
No, you're going off on a whole tear. You're saying this is
I'm going off for 10 seconds.
Hans is going off on a whole tear.
But going off on a tear is not necessarily about the time. It's about where the hell you're going with the actual conversation. So if you want to talk about so you've revealed one thing, which is that you've said that the goal is to make them fit back into the school system. I don't think that that's a good goal. I don't think that's a good enough reason to justify anything. I don't think that
it's not good enough to justify therapy. We should just let them be terrified and scream the entire time. What about mandated therapy for people who are struggling? That kid doesn't want to go to therapy, DemonMama.
Absolutely fucking not. No, absolutely not. You think you should just put someone into an institution just because they don't agree with you or because they have a behavioral issue? Is that what you think? You think the state should force kids into an institution?
If they cannot function in society.
Wait, of course. If somebody literally is like low functioning or dysfunctional, I mean, what is the alternative? They just walk around. Something else that bothers me, this comes out a lot when we talk about homeless people or other people with mental illness, and it's one of the reasons why I don't like DemonMama, like the people that fake all the mental illnesses online.
Send me to Canada! I'll get her a new one. Wow! Eat the burrito. Nope. One for you. Woo! Pew! Mine. Nope. Some for the stove. It's too hot. Add the drugs. Oh. Some for the counter. Oh god. Beans. Jump into hell. Oh god. Oh.
It really bothers me is because it becomes incredibly obvious incredibly quickly when somebody has no experience with somebody that is like a low functioning mentally ill person. Like everybody on the internet these days is autistic. Everybody on the internet is OCD. Everybody on the internet is blah, blah. Everybody on the internet is like the 50. There's like the whole like bread and butter mental illnesses that you can have that like somehow have zero presentation and zero actual diagnoses, and half these people aren't taking medication for any of it, right? But like when you actually are meeting people that are incapable of functioning in society, I don't believe that you can meet some of these people like, oh yeah, like just leave them to their own devices. Like, oh yeah, they're chill. Like just let them do shit like that. Like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like, no, there needs to be some help for these people to get them integrated to some degree in society. Because otherwise what happens is these people don't get jobs. Their parents and family will burn out taking care of them. That happens. And then they wind up on the streets. They wind up poor and homeless. And then they're outside, like screaming at people, walking down the street, and they're fucked. The rest of their life is over. I'm not even going to say that people like DemonMama don't have compassion for people like these, because I think they would. I just think they don't have any experience with people like these. Like, I don't think they've ever seen, like, what does it mean when somebody is literally throwing temper tantrums all the time, is screaming all the time? Like, you have to mandate, there has to be some sort of help for these people. Living in Omaha, did you ever know anyone who went to Boys Town or worked there? While it has its problems, there are people who come out of the system functional regular adults. I've heard of Boys Town, but I don't have any strong opinions about it. I used to hear the advertisements on the radio all the time, but I don't know if it like worked well or anything. I just don't know. Not to say that it didn't. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like a lot of these people that give these really strong takes about how mental illness can be beautiful and different and blah, 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 there is an aspect of truth to that. But I think they should be forced to spend some time around actual insane people.
People can incorrectly self-diagnose themselves. But at the end of the day, the key political takeaway is that we have to self-diagnose.
So you absolutely don't. And the scary thing, and now I'm going to tack on a little bit more baggage here. The scary thing about a self-diagnosis and getting yourself into a box is that it's one, we are so good at mind fucking ourselves. So one is that you could actually start to have other symptoms that you don't really, because you think you do, because you go and you read a wiki and you start, oh my God, like I do this and I think I feel this and blah, 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 blah. For a really good example of this, for like a month or two after my mom got her Alzheimer's diagnosis, I started to think I was getting Alzheimer's because every single time I forgot, and I consider myself a fairly smart person. If you consider me a fairly smart person, take my word of advice of caution. Heed my words of caution. Every single time I like forgot a thought, forgot an actor in a movie, forgot like the name of a fucking video game, or whatever. I was like, oh my God, I think I have Alzheimer's. I know I do, right? And I had to actually like think a lot. I was like, okay, hold on. I'm probably mind fucking myself. You told this story like an hour ago. Haha, good one. I actually had to like stop and think, and it was like, okay, how often do other people forget things in conversations? I'm going to start to like pay attention to that. And when I was listening to other people, then I realized, like, okay, hold on. A lot of people forget, like, you know, what's the name of the male actor in Batman? Like a lot of people forget like a lot of funny things like that. But it's like, okay, I don't feel as like crazy about this anymore. But there was like a solid like month time where I was like, oh my God, like I think I have fucking Alzheimer's. I feel like I'm forgetting everything, right? Which would be an unprecedented case of like the earliest onset Alzheimer's in the history of all of mankind. But yeah, this idea that you can like accurately diagnose yourself is actually damaging because you can start to exhibit other symptoms. You might make yourself worse off, and then you might go to a physician or like a doctor or whatever, and you might actually like fight with them over it. Where you like, oh, I don't agree with that doctor. He's not giving me the correct thing. Oh, he's not. You actually turn into a form of like, I don't know if I'd call it like hypochondriac, but like I remember my grandma would medicine shop hardcore. I don't know how she got so much fucking Vicodin. My grandma got so many drugs. Because she would just doctor shop and doctor shop and doctor shop and doctor shop. And I imagine that like you could run into issues where like, oh, I know that I have this. I know that I have that. And then when you talk to a doctor that disagrees with you, well, now, you know, fuck him. Fuck this doctor. I'm going to somebody else. I'm going to go to somebody that can help me. I know what I have. I read all 3 paragraphs on the Wikipedia about this, and I know that I exhibit all the symptoms, you know?
Diagnosis is essential to the process of actual medical diagnosis.
So this is actually so wrong. Not only is self-diagnosis absolutely not essential and absolutely not required, it can be detrimental to the actual like diagnostic process because you might start convincing yourself of certain things, and you might start answering questions in certain ways because you know, like, this is like the scary thing. Like, I don't know at this stage in my life, just because of how much I've read about this and who I am, and if I'm being truly honest with myself, I don't know if I could ever actually go to a doctor and get like an accurate take on like, are you autistic or are you like sociopathic? Because I know when I'm taking these tests, I know what the questions are asking, and I know like how I'm supposed to answer them, right? Like if I'm taking a test on autism and it's like, when people are talking to you, you generally find yourself bored or you don't understand why they talk so much. Or people oftentimes tell you that you're talking over them, or people oftentimes tell you that you're not like, okay, well, if I answer yes to this, I have fucking autism. If I answer no, then it's probably right. Like I don't even know, like in terms of taking those tests, if I could ever even honestly get through one. Cause it's like, fuck, dude, I know what I have to answer for the autism. I know what I have to answer for non-autism, right? Now imagine if you go in and you've genuinely convinced yourself of like, oh, well, I know that I have like a borderline personality disorder, right? So when you get a question and it's like you actually feel like people in your life don't care about you a lot, you feel like a lot of people fake caring about you, like, oh, 100%. I know that's a really common trait of like borderline. Yeah, you have violent outbursts. Well, when I play League, I get really mad. Violent outbursts are a part of borderline personality. Yeah, check the box, yeah, right? Like it can actually be detrimental to the process of trying to get yourself help, because now you've got like this whole list of symptoms in your head that you read off of like fucking Wikipedia, and now you like are going in to like answer questions, and you're answering how you think you have, and then it's like, right, you fuck yourself so hard here. This is actually such an incorrect take.
To the process of actual medical diagnosis. self-diagnosis is arguably more important.
This is absolutely so unbelievably wrong. I'm so glad that I have such good perspectives, because there are things at my school maybe do that seemed really dumb, but in retrospect were nice. So like, I don't know if this is part of every high school program, but for my school, in order to graduate, you were required to do, it was like 50 hours a semester of volunteering. And even something as innocuous as like working at a soup kitchen, you know, for a few weekends, or going to parks with sandwiches to like hand them out to homeless people. Getting those face-to-face interactions with people it is another world. It is another world of experience. You don't know what it is truly like to interact with a psychotic individual. And when I say psychotic, I mean somebody that is clearly not interfacing with the same reality as you until you've actually done it. It is in some ways, it's a horrifying and scary experience, because it's like there's no predictability. You have no idea what they're gonna do. And then in other ways, it is an incredibly fucking sad experience, because when you're volunteering, you can only help people like so much, you know, like you give them a meal, maybe you joke around with them a little bit, and then you watch them walk away, you know, into the cold, like talking to themselves with like shit smelling fucking rags on, you know, maybe with a bag where they go and dig out of trash cans for the rest of the day to find aluminum cans, you know? I feel like people need some face-to-face experience with that before they get on and talk about how beautiful neurodivergency is, and like, oh, we don't need to do anything, like just let these people, like, we'll entice them with yummy food or whatever. Like, I don't know. That bothers the fuck out of me.
They are a danger to themselves and everyone else. They are running away from their family. Wait. Absolutely use force to get them in a scenario where we can use all the experts and technology we have available to assist them. Absolutely. Home therapy. We can send a therapist to the home. But what if they keep escaping the home? We'll use the community watch to bring them back. If they don't want to deal with the therapist, they don't want to deal with any assistance, because they're so sad, so scared. They can't go to mandatory school. They can't deal with regular therapy. They're going to run away from everybody. At that point, yeah, I would probably be okay taking this child and putting them in a place where they can't escape from, to get them the help they need. And so like this one super child who like doesn't fit inside this, like doesn't fit.
I mean, that's wait. Before you get any further, that's yours.
I hope that, because the real question is what Hans needs to ask is, okay, somebody's gone through your system, DemonMama. Now they're 18. Now they're crazy. They can't hold a job. Their parents don't want to take care of them anymore. What do you do now? Do you let them wander the streets as a crazy person screaming all day? What if somebody is 16 and they want to kill themselves, right? Do you mandate the state to do something there, or do you just let them go off and do, you know, let them go and commit suicide, right? I hope that this needs to come up.
Super child that you've invented. I think that this child.
Your super child like refuses to go to school. Like, why can't the child?
Wait, I like how she says Hans invented the super child, while she was literally saying, "What if you have a child that screams and kicks and tries to escape pre-K?" Like, oh my god.
No, my super child is that my wait, hold on a second. If you want an actual answer to that, I don't think this imagined super child exists or is even common. And I think it's such an outlier.
Right.
Trying to
and it's the same thing with the kids crying about going to school.
Sure.
That's not, no, that's not true. I'm sorry. I have to call you on that. I want you to engage with actual facts on this.
What percentage of the population?
Engage in actual facts. No, neither side here, to be fair, has like cited any actual facts. So she can't claim that he's not doing it. Especially when she said such ridiculous stuff as, I don't know anybody, neither me nor my siblings even a single time didn't want to go to school. Hold on. Who are you calling out right now? Like Mary Poppins? Like, calm the fuck down.
What population of children are like literally feral and will refuse to go to school in any capacity?
We're not talking about.
That's literally.
We're not talking.
That's literally what you're saying.
Okay, like again, like this is just getting to the point where I don't think that you actually are interested in engaging in good faith. I think you're.
I hope. And I know it's probably never gonna happen, okay? But like, I hope that other content creators start seeing how performative and ridiculous DemonMama is. Like, she's really dumb. Her arguments are incredibly stupid. And I think that most of these debates are just something that she does like for entertainment and for like the entertainment of her audience. She doesn't actually give a fuck about any of these issues. The arguments are just bizarre as fuck. Like acting like should be heralded as some, you know, like, oh, she's good at debating, or oh, well, at least she has interest. She's not. This is like an implosive, or this is like an imploding dipshit. I don't even know. I have to be careful what words I say, because.
I'm not trying. I'm legitimately curious.
No, wait, Hans. I'm dead serious right now. Like this isn't memeing around. Like I think you're being in bad faith. I think when I try to say, wait a second.
I like how she control V'd the Vosh thing of like, I'm gonna be very good faith, proceeds to be bad faith. I'm gonna try to be very honest here, proceeds to lie. I think you're acting in bad faith. Has been acting in bad faith the whole time. Like, okay.
I don't think the feral child is a good example for how we should structure a system, or why we should justify or not justify using force to force people to go to school. And your response is, well, feral child. No, I was just about to talk about the fact that, as it turns out, and you should engage with this. I would encourage you as a colleague and in a genuine.
I'm engaging. I'm listening.
Excuse me. Hold on. I'm not done with my sentence.
Okay.
I like how she rambled so much. Oh man.
That you should go and look at what the actual situation is as to how people feel about and are traumatized by and hurt by schools. Because I can tell you right now, it's not all butterflies and rainbows, as you seem to be like sort of laughing about when you refer to this feral child. There are a lot of children who deeply suffer. And excuse me, I'm not finished talking. I would love to finish my sentence. But all right, like I can see where you're at with this. Like
oh my God. And I love how condescending she is. Like, dog, you haven't earned that level of condescension. You're not there yet. I don't know why you act like you're so much better than all these people when your arguments are just so, like, absolutely on their face absurd. It's ridiculous. Like,
this is why I said on Twitter that I felt like you weren't engaging in good faith, because I really don't feel like you are. Okay. I feel like you have your position.
I can tell you.
I feel like you have your position, and you actually aren't. I don't think you're willing to engage. No. I don't think you're willing.
I told you all. I
don't think you're willing to engage. I think we can
improve the school system. But like, if we have the ultimate school system, and the kids are still doing this, they still did what you said. Again, you started the super child meme, not me. This kid.
No, you asked me. What about a child?
This kid refuses to go to school.
No, wait. Am I wrong? I thought DemonMama brought that up first. DemonMama was like, what if you have a kid that doesn't want to go to school? What if you have a kid that doesn't want to get in the car? What if you have a kid that when they get to school, they try to escape? What if you have a kid, but when they escape again? Like, I thought that was DemonMama that brought that up.
And if all right, and then what if they, and what if they say no then?
You take them to school.
Okay, and what if they don't want to get in the car?
You pick them up and take them to the car.
Okay, so you pick them up. What if they fight you on that?
Then if
do you beat your kid?
No.
Destiny, ooh, you just messed up. Can you earn the right to be condescending? Oh yeah, I think you can earn the right at some point to be condescending, okay? If you're like a fucking, yeah, absolutely. I think you can earn the right in certain situations to be condescending. Now, it's never gonna sound good and it can be mean and you can be a dick, but I absolutely think you can earn the right to be condescending, of course.
Like,
excuse me. You're prescribing me things I haven't said. First of all, if we had the perfect system, I still don't think it would need to be mandatory. I think you could get near to or literally 100% attendance without ever.
She still hasn't given a single way to get that 100% attendance. She's still by 23 minutes and 32 seconds into this debate. The only thing we've gotten is yummy food. She still hasn't given a single way to make this happen, but she keeps reiterating over and again, we can do this, we can do this. Okay, how? Like, if she gave a really good argument, my guess, now I don't know, because maybe Hans is a bad faith piece of shit guy who's fucking roided up, who's doing too much tren at the gym now to even operate the logical faculty of his brain. Maybe he can't actually concede a point. But if that's not the case, okay, maybe Hans would actually say, oh, I didn't consider that, Maybe that is a really good way to incentivize kids to go to school. But she hasn't brought up a single way to do that yet, except for yummy food.
Using mandatory measures. I genuinely believe that. I think that's very possible.
Absolutely fucking insane.
Well, really that's fine, but that's fine.
Can you tell?
Wait. You can call me.
No. I want you to explain this point. I'll let you talk on this first. All right, ready? Okay.
I like how he tries to interject, and then DemonMama loses it. But then he says, "Well, hold on. I'm just gonna ask you to explain something." And Demon's like, "Okay, as long as I get to talk more, ask me to explain something."
Explain to me how we can make a system where school or education is so appealing that children will choose it over literally everything else.
Oh, so Hans is bringing it back now. We're at the beginning again. Okay, you said millions of ways over and over and over again. Okay, how do we do it? Hans has brought it back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay. Sure, for sure.
Please.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Okay, super easy.
Wait, if you're trying to say that why I think that's the case, I think kids like learning. And actually, it's funny because if you're willing,
kids like learning is not a way to incentivize it. Is she going to bring up a single fucking thing?
To actually engage with this in good faith, you can go and actually listen to the professionals on this. Professional educators know that kids love learning. Hell, we've had massive improvement.
To be clear, that's not really true. Kids don't necessarily love learning, but there are ways that you can disguise learning in other things to make kids love it, right? Kids don't love to sit in a classroom and fucking learn. That's why you have to work as a teacher to make the curriculum more engaging, right? That's why you have to find out ways to you're like tricking kids into learning. Sometimes with games, sometimes with group projects, sometimes, right? You have to, it's not like
improvements in literacy and in general education since the introduction of computer technology, because you can gamify things.
So
I see.
So the math game. That was some of my chat posted. I had to make sure I wasn't a bad.
I see. Yeah, totally.
So the math games are going to be more fun than everything else. Like enough that the child will choose to pick the math game.
Maybe. I don't know. If they're not, wait, hold on a second. If they're not, then make them better. Then do better. We should turn to this. Here's what I'm saying here.
Imagine you have to try to compete with fucking Fortnite to make your pre-algebra trigonometry math game just as fun as that. What? 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 Okay.
Is we should turn to these things instead of forcing a child. If there's something that you have to force a child to do, like for example, here's an example of something I think you might actually have to apply force to a child to do. If a child has a cancerous tumor on their neck and they're running around, you're like, we need to get this looked at, and they won't go in, you might have to bite that bullet and say, yep, we got to force this kid to go get that taken care of because it's going to kill the kid otherwise. There you go. I would be so much more open to that. But I think that should be used as a last resort. And in reality, I don't think we have to use...
Hold on one second. I hear you, Destiny, but as someone who worked in curriculum development and eventually left because it was such bullshit, it's not as cut and dry as that. This convo is doomed because there isn't a moderator with any experience in this field. It's not as cut and dry as what? As what I just said? Yeah, well, hold on. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying that it's easy to make curriculum engaging. That is an incredibly challenging process for a variety of reasons. One is because for some curriculum, it's really fucking hard, okay? Like, how do you make for some types of curriculum, I'm sure it's very difficult to make this engaging because the kids just genuinely don't give a fuck about the topic. Two, different children learn in different ways. So while some kids might find some type of content very engaging, other kids might not learn in that way at all. I don't mean to say that like, oh yeah, make the curriculum engaging, duh, is like a really easy thing to do. I'm sure that is an incredibly challenging thing to do, depending on the child and depending on the curriculum being taught, for sure.
Force near to as much as we do right now. I think the reason we use force now is because it's deemed as expeditious to a specific end, and because, well, as it turns out, if you make it mandatory to go to school, you can push it off onto individual responsibility to blame people for when the system fails them. That's why I think we use force. I think you can build a system that uses no force and would achieve close to...
Okay, but give one example. How are you gonna incentivize people to go to school with no force? Can you just give one example?
If not 100% attendance, by actually choosing to actively pursue things that aren't force and pursue force only as a truly last effort.
Can you ask, okay, fuck, I don't know if Hans is gonna do this, but like, this is what you have to say one more time. Okay, give me an example, how? Hans, you have to ask her over and over again, how do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? Stop letting her speak in these broad generalities and ask her, how do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this?
And cool, you seem to take a lot of issue when I said use force as a last effort with the super child who like cannot function in society. They're willingly making choices.
Yeah, because you said that they should be institutionalized.
To get the help they need, absolutely. If they're a danger to themselves, they're a danger to everybody else.
Well, then I guess you and I just have different positions on.
No, but this is the last.
So what do you? So you have homeless people running around screaming, and they don't want any help. You just let that happen, DemonMama. You want the ultimate liberation. Like, okay.
Of institutions.
What if they're gonna? What if they're gonna Roblox themselves? Like, would you be okay with force then?
I mean, me personally, I would.
Oh! She did the Hassan thing. I think Vosh might have done this in a conversation too. When you're having an argument or a debate or whatever about like what should policy blah 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 blah, and you're like, okay, should we do this? And then when the person that you're arguing with says, would I personally do that? No, that's not what this fucking conversation is about. What would you personally do? We're obviously like, this is about like the policies that we're talking about that should be in place for the government. Why? The only time people back up to like, what would I personally do is because they know they're about to bite the bullet on some like fucked up shit and they don't actually want to bite the bullet on it. So they're like, well, personally, I would never do that. Oh my God.
Would you be okay with force then?
I mean, me personally, I would take.
What do you mean? Hold on a second. Wait.
Whoa! Wow!
Oh, Hans identifies it, and DemonMama is mad because she doesn't want to bite the bullet on this. But Hans identifies it immediately. Yeah, I don't care what you personally want. We're talking about like policies here.
We're gonna do the performative thing. Let's do it. All right. Listen, you want to hear? Me personally, if my child was going to like kill themselves or was eminently in physical danger, then yes, I would tackle them. I would be like, look, let's
wait. Okay, but what if another parent's child was, and that parent didn't want to do anything to stop it? Then what do? Do you just let the child kill themselves?
Get you out of the danger. I know you'll see through this on the other side.
What about other people's kids? Would you force them?
Thank God. Yes, good follow-up.
You wouldn't let the state take children from parents when the kid says they're going to kill themselves and the parents aren't doing anything. You're really going to let that happen? Really? Wait. That's what you're dying on right now?
Hold on a second.
And she won't even fucking. They copy all of like. I feel like my worst habits filter down to Vosh, and then people copy the worst habits of Vosh. At least copy the Destiny habit where you bite the bullet on uncomfortable analogies, or you bite the bullet on uncomfortable hypotheticals. Like, bite the bullet. Notice how she initially owned it. She was like, "Yeah, I would never take kids from other people's. I would never take kids from other people's parents." Does that make sense? I would never take another parent's child, right? Or I'd never have the state do it. But then as soon as Hans rephrases it, and Hans is like, okay, well, wait. So if a kid was about to kill themselves and the parents didn't do anything, you wouldn't do that? Now she's like, well, hold on. She realizes how bad it sounds, and instead of actually like owning the actual logical conclusion of what she's saying, she shifts back to optics mode, and she's like, whoa, okay, shit, that sounds really bad. Okay, I need to find a way to rephrase this, and then she backs out, and now she's gonna come at it from a totally different angle. It wouldn't surprise me if we never return to this hypothetical now and the rest of this conversation. Let's find out.
Would you you wouldn't let the state take children from parents when the kids say
tackle them? I would be like, look, let's get you out of the danger. I know you'll see through this on the other side.
What about other people's kids? Would you force them? Would you? You wouldn't let the state take.
So he says it right here clearly, and she says no. Now he rephrases it so that it sounds even worse, so that she knows what bullet she's biting.
Children from parents when the kids says they're going to kill themselves and the parents aren't doing anything. You're really going to let that happen? Really? Wait, that's what you're dying on right now?
Hold on a second. You're saying that, are we talking about like an idealized world? I obviously think that.
And now, like, all the reason. Well, hold on, wait, is this an idealized world? Is this a hypothetical child? Like, would this ever fucking happen in real life? Like, blah, 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 blah. Is there ever a point in real life where children are neglected to the point where they feel suicidal and their parents aren't doing anything to help them? Like, well, in DemonMama's perfect world, where whatever fucking suburb she came out of, I guess that's never actually happened before. In the real world, there are actually children that have these problems. Children get neglected by their parents, especially teenagers, especially if you're in like a single parent family where your parent is working all the time, where they might not get like the type of attention or help they need. That absolutely fucking happens. The fact that anybody would push back on this as some absurd hypothetical that like, oh, you're telling me it is impossible that a child might be neglected by their parents to the point where they want to kill themselves is just very telling of where DemonMama comes from.
Right now, in our current state of affairs, it's probably a good thing if a child is completely isolated from the rest of society that we have a mechanism in place by which they can get out of that. But I don't think. I don't believe. Hold on. No, you have to let me finish. If you ask me a question, no. I will stop it. Wait, Hans, I will stop right now. If you're gonna do this, I will stop right now.
You're allowed to run away.
Now she wants to eject because she realizes that she wants to eject now because she realizes, like, rhetorically, I don't think she can optically save this argument. It's absurd. Even logically, her argument is actually like ridiculous. So logically it fails. However, not only does it fail logically, she can't even make it optically or rhetorically look good because Hans is providing an adequate example of like, well, here's a breakdown of your logic in a way that not only is logically horrible, but it rhetorically looks really fucking bad. And now she's like, oh, well, fuck you. I want to fucking get out of this. I don't like this conversation anymore. I want to fucking leave. Like, and now she's done with it completely.
Okay.
Bruh, I will stop right now.
I haven't raised my voice like that.
All right, this is easy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is easy.
So earlier when I said it wouldn't surprise me if we never return to that point, I bet we won't ever return to it. But maybe we will. Hold on. There's still 4.5 minutes. Maybe we will. We will return to it.
No, because you're talking over me. You literally need to let me finish on this. You asked me a specific question. I will not.
And you didn't.
I will not do this. I will not.
The question was, if your kid is going to Roblox themselves, will you stop them and institutionalize them? And
yes, I would.
And you said yes for them.
No.
And then so what I'm asking then is,
I'm done.
And then I'm asking.
She's so scared. She's so scared of going forward in this hypothetical because she knows how fucking bad it sounds. Holy shit.
Asking about for other people's kids, would you be okay with the state doing that to other people's children if the kid's going to Roblox themselves? That's a yes or no question.
Hans, first of all, I'm actually done with this. Like, we're not going to continue with this afterwards. Like, I'm actually done. And consider this a serious mark on our friendship because I think this is remarkably ridiculous.
Wait, a mark on our friendship?
I'm done.
And then I'm asking about for other people's kids, would you be okay with the state doing that to other people's children if the kid's going to Roblox themselves? That's a yes or no question.
Hans. First of all, I'm actually done with this. Like, we're not going to continue with this afterwards. Like, I'm actually done. And consider this a serious mark on our friendship because I think this is remarkably ridiculous. First of all, you asked me two different questions. The first time you said, would I personally tackle my child if they were in physical danger? Yes, I would take that onto myself. I would take the risk of potentially harming my child physically onto my own.
No one cares. Notice how much she wants to talk about this one thing because optically it looks good. I would do anything to protect my child. And then also because it gives her more time to either think of an answer to the other hypothetical or avoid answering it. But she'll sit here and like entangle with this part that nobody cares about because nobody's asking. Nobody cares what you would do specifically.
Hands. And if I hurt them in the process, that would be my goddamn responsibility because I chose to intervene there.
Wow.
Then, just very, very slippery, you just about 5 seconds ago changed the question when you said, no, wait, the question I asked you was whether you would have them institutionalized. And you never said that in the first situation, nor did I ever do that. If my child was going to like kill themselves or was eminently in physical danger, then yes, I would tackle them. I would be like, look, Let's get you out of the danger. I know you'll see through this on the other side.
What
And
about
then
other people's kids? Would you force them? Would you
No.
You wouldn't you wouldn't let the state take children from parents when the kid says they're going to kill themselves and the parents aren't doing anything. You're really going to let that happen?
This entire conversation
Fine,
has been you. Excuse me. I'm not even. Hans,
Are you for real? I'll give that to you.
I'm done. Hans, I literally.
I think what I said was about like whether
Hans,
or not you would stop.
Are you for real?
But then you asked. But then I asked,
Hans,
would you stop
are
other
you for real
people
right now?
from doing this? It's
Hans, is this really?
Let's not even
wait.
talk
Is
about
this
institutionalizing? Let's
Hans?
talk about
I would have to scroll back to the conversation. It might have been that Hans said like, oh, well, would you have the government do this or whatever? But like, it's obvious what he's asking. Hans isn't asking like, would you personally, like, obviously they're having a conversation about what the policy should be. It's pretty obvious to know what Hans is saying. He's not trying to ask her like a personal question about her personal child, right?
stopping
Hans,
like the roadblocking.
Hans, I'm done. This is disrespectful and stupid.
Okay.
And I mean that. Like, I mean that on a very real way. Like, I came in here totally ready to have an actual conversation with you. And what keeps happening is you'll ask me a question, then you interrupt. And when I try to be able to actually answer that question, then you accuse me of talking too much. But if you ask me a question, you excuse me, you're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. Oh, nice meme. I love that.
I mean, yeah.
Is that a problem? Do you think you have a problem that I talk too much?
I mean, gish galloping is a thing. Like, you don't really stay on topic. Yeah.
It's technically Hans is wrong here. She's not actually gish galloping. Gish galloping is when you lay out like a multitude of bad arguments and you don't give your opponent time to respond to any of them. The problem is DemonMama hasn't actually laid out any arguments whatsoever. So it doesn't actually even qualify as a gish gallop. She's just filling a lot of air with meaningless words. She's rambling. Like, it's like incoherent rambling. That's all it is. It's not even a gish gallop because she's not actually putting forth any arguments. She's just galloping. Yeah.
You think wait, where have I gish galloped? Give me a specific example of where I've gish galloped.
I asked you whether you would stop your own child from Robloxing themselves, and then you said,
"Oh, it's not a gish gallop, it's a troll trot." True, poopy ass. She's troll trotting, not gish galloping.
yes. And then the second question.
That's a direct answer, Hans. That's not a fucking gish gallop, dude.
And then you said yes. Asked you whether you would stop your own child from Robloxing themselves, and then you said yes. And then the second question.
That's a direct answer, Hans. That's not.
Okay, but that's not what he cares about. The obvious answer to that one is yes. Now the next question is the thing that he cares about. Oh my god.
Fucking gish gallop, dude.
And then the second question,
this is so stupid.
which you refused to answer,
come the fuck
was,
on. You know
are you in
She's still okay. So Hans is doing a good job at trying to bring her back to this point. I didn't think we'd come back here, but she's not going to engage with it.
favor of a state interceding to stop someone from Robloxing themselves if their parents won't do it?
Oh,
that's a yes
hold on a
question.
second. Wait, do you want to watch back the VOD? I challenge you to go watch back the VOD because if you go back and watch back the VOD, you didn't let me finish that answer at all. Not even close. I didn't even get halfway through. You're doing it again. You're doing it again right now. Literally every.
She's not gonna. We have a minute and a half left. She's not going back to this. She knows that she's lost logically and rhetorically on this point. So it's over.
Single time I respond, you start to interrupt me before I can even answer. This is incredibly frustrating.
All right, I'll give
and I know, and it's funny. I guess like. No, I'm done. I literally don't want to engage with you anymore. I actually think this is one of the worst. I'm disappointed personally because like and whatever. Like you can say that's whatever. But I came on here because you invited me on. You wanted to have a talk about this, and I really genuinely tried to engage. I don't think I've thrown any.
I don't think
insults
you
at
did, but that's totally
really.
Okay.
Wait. Can you tell me where?
I know you're disappointed in me. I mean,
what?
you made fun of like the concept of like getting a kid to go to school, even though you agreed that like in certain situations.
Wait, did I make fun of that?
Yes, you did. I don't think you engaged with the question. You talked about like how to, in regards to like what's the important thing. I explained to you that like not having an education in society is literally life crippling for children.
Wait, and I never engaged with that?
Yeah, you didn't engage with that whatsoever.
I did literally engage with that. I don't know.
Did she? I didn't remember her engaging it. I don't even remember them talking about it that much though.
Just watch back the VOD. Like I don't know. This is absurd. I genuinely did not expect like this level of actual bad faith from you.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you are.
I'm not.
I think you're exactly. That's what I thought.
All right,
so
have a good one.
And that's where we will end this.
That was excellent.
Oh man.
Oh Jesus.
What a horrible dog shit conversation. There's only one piece of feedback that I would give you, and that is you did a really good job like structurally in terms of following the argument. The one thing that I would say you could do is like when you repeat questions, stay calm. Like let her ramble and then repeat your question and bring her back. But like let her ramble and then repeat your question and bring her back. Because I think that you, for the most part, kept your cool in this conversation. That's what it looked like to me. But you can be cooler. Like let her ramble. Don't try to cut her off. Let her say her dumb shit. Be like, okay, that's cool. But, and then bring it back to that question, I think, over and over again. Yeah. That's the only thing. But otherwise, I think, like, yeah. I don't see how somebody could watch this and think that DemonMama was participating in this conversation in good faith, either on factual grounds, because shit she was saying was just ridiculous. Like, oh, kids love to go to school. or on rhetorical grounds where she's like clearly like dodging around questions and like answering in bad faith and not actually giving answers to questions and shit like that. August, cut here. Bottom right French setting resizable. Okay, once I log in. What was my login name for my RuneScape account? Does anybody remember what my name was? It might be your email. I swear you might be the worst streamer on Twitch. What do you mean? I watched Hassan for 6 hours last night, okay? And I learned how to stretch out content, okay? I should leave and come back. Oh, maybe it is my email. Okay, let's try that, okay?
No.
Okay, so then that point doesn't matter.
I mean, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean that point doesn't matter?
You said like
Wait, that didn't work either. I don't know what your login name was, but your in-game name was Your Hot Destiny. Okay, the email didn't work. For accounts created after 2015, please use your email. Otherwise, please log in with your username. Oh no. What was my... Check your email for your username for RuneScape. Is it a username or is it my email, guys? When I logged in. Hi, your membership has been canceled. Hi, percentage CF underscore display name percentage. Oh, nice, programming. Only really old accounts logging with username, it's probably email. Is it like case sensitive? How is this not working? Okay, hold on. Well, now you all are gonna sit here and suffer while I figure this out. Oh, here, have some donuts while you're suffering. Nope, didn't work. Check your email. If I go to reset my password and it says you can't use this one, it's the same one you just had. I'm gonna lose it, okay? I will lose it. You can't have special characters in your password? Wait, is Cake here? What type of database structure or whatever, like what are you using that can't handle special characters? Is this like some 20th century tech or what? The password isn't even case sensitive? What a world. Okay, so I'm sorry. Account locked? No! Okay, we're waiting. Hold on. Okay, new password. Change password. This password is the same as your current one! How does this even happen? Hold on. I'm pasting this in chat. I'm not even making this up. How does this even happen? Okay, now you're all gonna wait. Now you're gonna sit here and wait, okay? Now you're gonna sit here and wait. Account locked as we suspect it has been stolen. Has it actually, or is it just because I just tried my password like 20 times? Hold on. Okay, close. Okay. Refresh. Oh, and it's because you're in Sweden. Trying to change your password. Okay. Okay. Log in. Okay, support page. My account is locked. Unlock account. I should have been using my surf. Hey, you guys ever end up in weird situations where you're traveling around the world, you want to log into the video games you know and love, but for some reason you're just not able to? Well, guess what? Sometimes when you try to log in from other countries, you can set off unintentionally these alarms that have your accounts protected on these services you use. Well, have I got a good deal for you. If you use Surfshark VPN, that's surfshark.deals/destiny, you can go ahead and get a huge discount. You can download a VPN that'll let you pretend you're logging from any place in the world. You can synchronize this VPN from all your devices, from your Android, your iOS, your tablets, your laptops, your desktops, your pacemakers, your things that you have installed in your brain to help you apart, every single device you can possibly imagine, okay? subject to limitations. All right, go ahead and check that out. Surfshark.deals/Destiny. Okay, 83% off, 3 extra months for free. Check it out. Boom. Okay. Send me somebody clip that and DM it to me. I'm going to put this in a video and put NordVPN on screen. Oh, no, wait, August. First of all, don't do that. Also, August, we need to talk about this later. I need to do 2 pre-rolls for my, I need to do 2 pre-rolls for YouTube, but we can do that next month, okay? I hope you're getting triggered, August, because I'm getting triggered. Okay, reset your password. Okay, is it gonna make me reset it just because I'm in another fucking country? Is it really gonna do that to me? Shut up. LSP, okay? New password. It's not gonna let me use, because it's gonna say it's the same one. It is the same one. Am I allowed to do that? Oh my God. Wait, yeah, we can still do this, right? This isn't bad, is it? I don't remember. Okay. Let's try the classic. Big Dick Cuban 6969. Yeah. What? Okay, sorry, hold on. Oh God, why did I even? Okay, boom. Success. Your new password has been set and you may use it to log into your account. I don't know if I told you this. When I was in the Netherlands and then a little bit in Sweden, I had nightmares about my account dying.
You're a genius, dude!
I would be like going to do a quest or something and chat would all be like, oh, it's really easy, it's really easy, it's really easy. And I'd like run into this cave and I wouldn't be able to leave and there'd be some guy like rapid firing like fireballs in my character. And I'd be dying, I'd be like crying, like, chat, you said it wasn't hard, it wasn't hard. And my character's dying and then everybody in chat starts typing in troll face. And I'm like, and then my character dies. And I'm like, no, oh my God, how do I stop this? Hold on. Oh my God. And then I woke up and I was like traumatized. I was like, holy shit. Okay, all settings. Okay, just real quick. How do I make it so that I can't actually show you the gameplay because August gets mad when he's got to do a ton of shit when I do that. So but I just want to be able to mine in the background. Stretch mode. Yeah, where's that at? Activities, audio, chat controls, display? Hide roofs, no. Gameplay, interface, turn on GPU 2. Wait, where? Wrench, settings, display, game, client, layout. I don't even have that in here. Okay, wrench, all settings, display, game, client, layout. Where do you see that? I see camera zoom distance, screen brightness, and then hide roofs and scroll wheel can change distance. Destiny here, click. Oh, wait, is this a ruin light setting? Oh, no, wait, over here. Oh, this display. There it is. Oh my God, I'm about to get so much mining done. Thank you. Whew. Boom, okay. Here we go. Okay, August, we're back.